I would like to start off this video saying that Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It is incredible. I love it. It's been nothing but a great time, and honestly, it could have been a perfect game if it wasn't for one huge, massive flaw that I'm sure I'm not the only one that has experienced this. This was the absolute worst thing I've ever seen in this game. Now, of course, the game was already had a number of bugs, had a number of issues, and Larian, to give them credit, has been amazing. They have been patching as much bugs as they can and hot fixing constantly. They had a hot fix today, just before I started recording this, and so they're on top of the game. They are on top of their game. They're an amazing studio. They've made a wonderful game. But my God, I have to bring this up because this was absolutely atrocious. Let's talk about it. So, as I'm sure a lot of people who have played this game or maybe are familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, in 5th edition there is a spell known as Counterspell. Let's look into it here. What is Counterspell? Well, if we look right here on roll20.net, Counterspell right here, 3rd level, all right? Now, this is important. Listen to this, all right? Read along with me. 1 reaction, okay, not too bad, which you can take when you see a creature within 60 feet of you casting a spell. A creature you can see within 60 feet. That is what we're talking about today. Because what happened last night was the worst thing I've ever experienced, and it pissed me off beyond repair. I have never been that mad at a video game in my entire life. Let me show you the clip I'm talking about. Before I show you the clip, actually, I would like to give you a little bit of context. So, I'm in Act 3. No spoilers, don't worry. I was fighting a number of bad guys that I had to fight to progress. And then I had to go upstairs in the building I was in to fight more bad guys, including the boss, okay? Now, in that fight, there were specifically 2 mages in this first fight. Again, this is on the 1st floor. I then had to go up to the 2nd floor to take care of the rest of them. But it's 1 fight at a time. They are in 2 completely different zones in the game, 2 completely different rooms, right? So, anyway, these 2 mages were counterspelling me. So I thought, okay, I just need to take care of the mages. Simple enough to think about. But then they started counterspelling me through the wall. I thought that was weird, because normally, counterspell, you have to be able to see the person. But no, I looked at the actual wordage of counterspell in Baldur's Gate 3, and it just said that you could nullify a spell, given that you have a high enough level slot for it. So, I come up with this plan, cast invisibility a couple times, sneak up on them, and DPS them down as quickly as I can. They're gone. These 2 mages are gone. No more counterspell, or so you would think. So that's our context. Let's get to the clip. Use Hunter's Mark on this guy here. Counterspelled by who? Who the hell did that? Who counterspelled me? Hold on. Let's see this here. Fist Earthdigger cast counterspell on Shadowheart. Where is Fist Earthdigger? You cannot tell me that Earthdigger is upstairs. You cannot tell me that Earthdigger is upstairs. You have got to be kidding me. Larian, this is the worst thing that has happened in this game yet. Oh my God. So you're telling me that somebody that's upstairs and not in the fight is able to counterspell my spell when I am downstairs, and they do not know what's going on down here. That is without a doubt the stupidest thing that I have ever seen. Oh my god. That is so bad. That is unbelievably bad. That is absolute trash. There is absolutely no reason why somebody who isn't in initiative, not in the battle, in a completely different room, should be able to counterspell me. It makes absolutely no sense. It is brain dead. It is absolutely atrocious. And I do not know who greenlit that. Whoever decided that that was a good idea is an idiot. That is so bad. Like, alright, fine. Like, I play devil's advocate, alright? I say, alright, so I'm being counterspelled by these two mages behind a couple walls, like, outside the door that you saw me walk through. Okay, fine. Let's just say, alright, it's stupid. It shouldn't happen that way, in my opinion. I don't think that that's the way that should work. It's dumb, right? So, alright, fine. Okay, that's fine. If I'm gonna get counterspelled behind walls by people who I'm fighting, whatever. You could probably come up with some reason as to why that works. Okay, fine. Whatever. But then to go the extra mile and have some guy that's upstairs, and this is the important part, not in the initiative order, not in the fight, not involved with what's going on, is able to use his spider sense to tell that there's someone downstairs that's casting something, and it's right about there, and he goes and he counterspells it. That is absolutely ridiculous. That should never happen in any way, shape, or form. Because the thing is, you might say, well, why don't you just do it to the enemy? No, you idiot. I can't do it to the enemy because he's not in combat. He's not going to do anything to proc me to counterspell it because he is not in combat. So all I have to do is just not use anything because, any moment that I use something, he's up there waiting for me to cast something so he can counterspell it, and I can't do anything about it. That is the dumbest thing ever. So I started browsing around the internet, trying to find some people that understood how I felt, because I know I'm not the only person that thinks that that is absolutely stupid. I know I'm not. So I looked it up, and I got on Reddit. Of course, that's like the first place that always pops up. And I look on there, and these brain rot individuals are saying, well, it actually kind of makes sense because, everybody's got that mind flare parasite in their brain, and so they would be able to tell that you were casting a spell because of the neural link with the parasite. That is the stupidest argument I have ever heard, because if that's the case, and they know you're going to do that, what's the point of sneaking up on anyone if they know you're there? There's no point in sneak attack. There's no point with rogues. That was the stupidest argument I've ever heard. This whole situation is absolutely baffling to me. And I know that I am a small drop in the vast ocean of the internet. More than likely, nobody's going to see this. It's probably not going to go anywhere, but I had to talk about it in hopes that somebody might see it. Larian Studios, you are an incredible developer. You have made one hell of a game. It is, without a doubt, Game of the Year. Hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts. You took the bar and you just ran with it. And you did an amazing job with this game. But this one huge mislook really was just a thorn in my side and just took me out of the whole scenario. Because it's just utter garbage. And I pray that somebody at Larian sees this or hears about it, or somebody of note brings it to their attention so that they can do something to fix that. If you want to keep it going through walls, fine. That's okay, I guess. I can deal with that. But when somebody who is not in combat upstairs has no idea that I am down here, right, is able to counterspell it, like, what am I to do? Not only did he counterspell me from upstairs, but it aggroed the entire second fight, including the boss. It aggroed all of them and brought them into combat because his spider sense told him somebody was downstairs, and it allowed him to counterspell it and then alert everybody else up there that, hey, there's a fight going on downstairs. So they all enter into the initiative order, which made the fight so long, and there was no rest in between. So, God, it made me so angry! Anyway, that's what I had to talk about. That's the rant. In my opinion, Baldur's Gate definitely had the potential to be a 10 out of 10 game. In my opinion, it is far beyond anything that's released this year. It's an amazing, amazing game, and I cannot give Larian enough credit. But please, please fix this. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this entire situation, because in my opinion, I think this is one of the worst flaws, if not the worst flaw, that Baldur's Gate 3 has ever had. I honestly, if I'm being honest, I never even noticed any of the flaws that they ended up patching in all of the updates that they've done. I never really noticed much of them. I mean, obviously, there's like the multiplayer and the character being forced into the party and stuck with it. That is until they brought out Wither's wardrobe, where you can put your friends in it, right? Like that's about it. Other than that, I had no issues. I'm sure a lot of people voiced their opinions on other things, but you know, I didn't really notice them that much. But this, if I don't stop myself, I could go on for hours just about how bad it is. I need to stop myself and calm down. But please, somebody out there, I'm asking for help. Somebody let Larian know that this is just terrible. And if you can't, if everybody is against me and they think that it's perfectly fine, let me know in the comments. And if someone from Larian or somebody who is knowledgeable about this, I guess, can convince me, please do so. I would love to hear why this is a good idea. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.